Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is John. I'm a full-time eBay reseller based in Melbourne, Australia. I got scammed recently. Not my first time getting scammed. It's only for $50, not the largest scam either. Essentially, I paid for something up front, and then I turned up and they just said, we don't have the item. And that was it. Through a locked gate, they said, we don't have the item. Granted, the place smelled of weed, so not like you can tell that when you're buying an item of somebody. But at the same time, being scammed a few times has made me really wrestle with this whole concept of making it right. And whether it's part of our business or not. So if you're someone who's ever been scammed, where someone took something from you and you couldn't get the money back, you couldn't make it right, except through illegal means, which you've chosen not to do, good for you. This conversation's for you. And if you're someone who's afraid of a scam, tune in. You might get something from it. So, usually when something like that happens, someone's taken from me, I feel wronged, I feel like I'm gonna fix it. First thought is, go to the police, report it. And so I do. Only to then realize they can't really do much anyways because, well, they can investigate it, they can charge the person, but after all that, I still don't get my money back. Because oftentimes the people who do the worst things kind of need it the most, which is really sad and pathetic. But it also highlights just how desperate they are. Not that I'm sympathetic to it, and not that I'm trying to say, let it go. I eventually let it go in a roundabout sort of way. And here's how. I can't be a two wrongs make a right kind of a person, because that's something I'm trying to teach my kids, right? Two wrongs don't make a right. My son actually did ask me, he said, so when the police catch them, do they go to jail? And I said, well, maybe not. And then we had this conversation about how jails do two things, rehabilitate and punish, right? They're not really dangerous to people. I mean, it's not like they're like predators and they murder and it's not like that. They're just people who happen to take advantage of other people in really, really petty ways. And they generally have no desire to rehabilitate anyways. So the jail kind of is wasted on them. But I did end up saying to him, well, I don't want to go to jail doing something wrong just to get back $50 or $500. That was the largest one. The largest amount of money I've lost in buying stock was about $500. Because when I go to jail, I can't see you. I can see you every once in a while. And kids are the cutest, right? They'll be like, well, mommy can drop me off and I can go see you. And then it's like, yeah, but through closed doors, through glass, once every few months. That's not what I want. So that's not worth it, is it? And they go, yeah, no, I'd rather you be here. And it softens you. It takes the anger away a little bit. So do I then stop paying for things up front? No. I recognize the risk in what I'm doing. And in doing so, it allows me to secure a lot of items but not have to pick it up immediately. It allows me to then drive for 4 hours a day, picking all those items up, filling up my whole tub of my ute. And more often than not, they all deliver, because the benefit to them is they get to leave the item outside and just pick it up and go. Both parties don't need to have a chat. The deal's done. And in that sense, that convenience and that structure, that efficiency, means that I'm willing to absorb the occasional time where I get scammed. So how many times have I actually gotten scammed? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 times. I've been doing this full time for 4 years, and I've only been scammed 4 times. Once a year. If that feels like too much, here's another number. I spend about $40,000 a year in stock, if not more. The average is about $40,000. So what that means is, out of $160,000 worth of stock that we've bought, give or take, we've only lost 500, 150, 200, 50. So 500, 150, 50, 700, $900. That's a very small number. And that puts into perspective as well. Of course, if you're getting scammed like every single time, then there might be something you're doing that you might need to fix. But as far as I'm concerned, like, it really highlights just how much of an impact something negative can have. I guess because it catches you off guard as well. I guess because you don't expect it to happen. And we don't expect things like that to happen for two reasons. The first one is because when we try and do good things, we generally expect good things to happen back. You reap what you sow. And also, I think the other aspect that isn't spoken about is how much we take for granted that we're in a generally safe place. Australia is generally safe, right? Most people are provided for, most people have jobs. Even if they're low-paying jobs, they get you by. Social welfare is pretty good. The sense of neighborhood, it's quite strong. So for all those reasons, when something bad happens, it really throws you for a loop. But the actual thing that has happened, for the most part, isn't that bad. So rather than doing something wrong to right a wrong, I actually had to decide to do more good. Because just after I got to that place to pick up that item for $50 and for them to go, we don't have it. I don't have the money to give it back to you either. Try again later. I was about to record a video, and as I was driving back, I was like, I don't feel like I want to do a video for you guys. Not because it's your fault, but because it's like, it's so hard to do good when you've been done wrong by, isn't it? And it becomes an active decision to do good, to do more good, to add your good to the world, hoping that culture shifts in what little way it does. So there is no summary, I suppose, to this video. It's just me sharing with you my thoughts after being scammed a couple of times. I'm not angry. I've let it go. I'm also not afraid. So much so that I need to change a whole bunch of things. I still stand by this principle when it comes to wrongdoing. And I think this is the takeaway. There are only two reasons wrong things happen to people. The first reason is because you are a bad person and you've set yourself up to receive bad things. You screw enough people over, eventually it comes back. Eventually a bully finds somebody who is a much bigger bully than they are. That's the first reason. The second reason is because by some random chance, you happen to walk into a bad thing. When I reflect on all the times I've been scammed, all 4 times I've been scammed, they fall into this category. Random chance, happened to happen, no way I could have avoided it, because I wasn't willing to change the way I did something, the structure, the pattern of my business, right? And if we've talked about the numbers part of it, no one's actually deliberately done something to me because I've done something wrong in the first place. No one has deliberately done something wrong to me because I live a life where the pattern is one of wrongdoing. And so in that sense, I make peace with that too. I go, I'm not going to stop doing good. I'm not going to stop adding value to you guys. I'm also not going to stop to change the way I do my business, because either I pay all up front or don't pay all up front. And quite clearly, the benefit of paying all up front is a lot bigger than not. So yeah, a lot of thoughts in there. Take whichever bit of it helps you. But most importantly, keep doing good. Keep adding value. Keep sharing your experiences. Keep being kind to the people you meet. Society becomes segregated when we all start being suspicious of each other for no reason. Allowing everybody to contribute on face value, and even on those times when we are wronged, to recognize just how small of a percentage of our experiences, that actually is one in several hundred encounters. The several hundred other encounters that go well, but where we learn from others, we teach others, where we share a connection, those we must preserve at all costs, because that's what makes society better, isn't it? That's what makes us all grow. And by association, our families, those we love, they benefit from that too. Actually, I grew up with lots of family and older figures who, upon one bad thing happening, they would revert into very afraid people. And I never liked how restrictive that felt. Like we're talking so afraid that even if you question, they go, nah. Would you rather be safe or sorry? You know, like throwing around cliches like that without really understanding the cost, the benefit, the risk being taken. All I'm saying is, if you know something to be right, and if you know something to be good, keep doing that. And even if things don't work out the way you expect, continue to stick by what you know is good and right. And do not allow the wrongdoing to entice you into justifying wrongdoing. Yeah, I'll end it there. Until next video, take care, be kind, happy reselling. Bye.